Hello, in this video from oorail, we're going to look at how to tell the difference between a loco drive and a tender drive steam locomotive. So here we have a couple of steam locomotives set up to show you how to tell the difference. This first locomotive here is a 41 Squadron. It's a Battle of Britain, I think, and Battle of Britain class. And it's pretty old. It's probably about 35, 40 years old at this point. And this particular loco is loco drive. And basically what loco drive means is that the motor for the locomotive is actually inside the main body of the locomotive instead of being inside the tender. So probably the easiest way to tell the difference is if a loco is loco drive, when you try to move it, the wheels are going to lock, and as you see there, I'm moving it back and forth, but it's not really freely moving. The wheels aren't rotating when I move it, they're actually staying locked, and the reason for that is the motor is actually geared into those wheels, so they're not going to move unless it's the motor's moving it. So if we slide this one along here, you'll see its tender moves quite freely, and as a result you can tell that this is a loco drive, just because the motor, which is in the main part of the locomotive here, is simply preventing those wheels from moving freely, whereas the tender is moving back and forth rather easily. So if I move the next locomotive, this is a Princess Elizabeth. As you can see there, it's moving quite freely, and the reason for that is this is actually a tender drive locomotive, and it's a little newer, but there's absolutely no motor in this section of the locomotive. As you can see there, the gears and the piston rods are moving freely. And if I reach over here and grab the tender, you can see the tender, there's no give in it at all. And the reason for that is that it's got the motor in it. That's it. Now the other thing you might notice, if I pull this a little closer to the camera, is there's actually on most tender drive locomotives, there's a metal connecting pin as opposed to a plastic one. And the reason for this is if I move the locomotive back, you will see, maybe, that's if you look here, it actually has a metal piece there that connecting pin goes into to use the rest of the locomotive's wheels as for pickup. So it gives it a better chance of picking up more electricity off the rail. As you can see there, there's absolutely no movement whatsoever. Now this next locomotive is also a little bit old. It's about 35 years old, and this one, let's see if you can figure it out. Here's the tender. It's free moving. The locomotive, not so much. So I'll give you a few seconds to figure that out. The tender moves, the loco does not. So this is actually loco drive. So here there's absolutely nothing in the tender. It's pretty lightweight. as you can tell. But the Albert Hall here itself is pretty locked up. Oops. You can see it's just not going anywhere without power to that motor. And finally, we have another example of a tender-driven locomotive. Here you can see the main part of the locomotive has no motor in it whatsoever, so free wheels by just pushing it. And if I pull the motor here, the tender has the actual motor in it, and as you can see, it's not going anywhere. Also, if you look at it right here, you can tell that the pin here is metal for conducting and for the extra pickups that are in the locomotive. And finally, I thought I'd show you what these look like on the inside. Here you can see we've got a standard ring-field motor inside the tender, whereas down here we have the standard XO4 in the loco-driven motor, or in the loco-driven locomotive. And here you can see we have a smoke generator. So I'm just going to pan the camera around so you can see that a little bit better. So you can see there's the standard ring-field motor with some extra weights. See the lid off of it. If I pan over here, you can see that that's the standard XO4, and that's just the smoke generator there on the front. And that's from the older Princess Elizabeth loco. And you can see there's the body shell off of it. You can see that uses standard type of brushes, which are located right here, whereas the ring-field motor over here uses the spring-loaded kind of